Okay, for my first for my first podcast episode, I wanted to talk about the fact that I literally can't be honest. I cannot be honest because I don't really have opinions. What does that mean? What does that mean? Basically, I am someone who's like, I can like see both sides, and I don't mean it in like an annoying way. I can like just genuinely, I'm like, fair enough. Like, I get it from both sides. I do have opinions. I do feel strong about things, but I'm always like, okay, but I don't know anything for certain. Like, I will never claim to know anything for certain because I don't feel like, I don't know, like, everything is based off of theories and faith and just believing, you know? And like, I'm not really, like, you're probably thinking like, Emily, do you not believe in science? No, I'm just talking about like normal things, you know, like, so okay, for example, when it comes to politics, I understand the liberal side, I understand the conservative side. There are things that I like don't like on both sides, but it's like, okay, I just have a hard time being honest with opinions because I don't like, I'm always like, I don't know if it's good to feel really, really strong about things because that kind of doesn't allow you to be as open-minded, but I guess it does in a way. I just feel like I'm such a sensitive person that it's hard for me to have big opinions and have strong feelings about things without taking it personally. Like, that's my problem. I can't be fully honest about my opinions and like stick to what I believe in. One, because it's always changing. Two, because I don't know anything for certain. And three, because I kind of take things too seriously the more I like get excited about it. The more like I am passionate about something, the more it means something to me. So it's just really hard for me to have opinions. And like, I do have opinions. Like, I think fish is nasty. I think octopus is nasty. But like, does that mean other people can't eat it? Like, if other people like it, then they're gonna like it. And it's just like my opinion for not liking octopus. But just like in terms of like when people ask me questions, I'm like, guys, I literally don't know anything. I do not know. I just don't know. But also, I can't be honest when it comes to communicating. And that's like the big thing. Like, I don't like, it's so hard for me to tell people my feelings. Like, I can never tell people truly if like, oh, you kind of made me mad in this moment. Oh, like, you kind of made me sad in this moment. Like, I have such a hard time with confrontation and like, telling people like, this made me upset because, well, I don't know, like, let's try and figure out why. One, because I think I don't want to hurt the other person because I'm usually aware that like they weren't trying to hurt my feelings. You know, like, I feel like 90% of the times, if it's like your friends or people that you know, they're not trying to hurt you. You know, like, if they did hurt you, it wasn't on purpose. But sometimes you just feel like it is. And in my brain, sometimes I'm just like, well, they did hurt me, and that means they actually don't like me, and they're pretending to be my friend because it's some kind of like ploy against me that everybody's in on except for me. Like the Truman Show. Anyways, like, okay, for example, let's say a friend like said something to me in like a kind of like mean tone, like a little bit loud, a little bit sharp. It's like, ow, like, why are you digging at me? I'm just like, oh, that's so sad. Like, I'm gonna go cry about it. I'm not gonna go cry about it, but I'm just gonna like get quiet. I'm gonna not say anything. I'm gonna become resentful. And that's not good. And that literally happens to me so often with so many people. Like, I'm constantly feeling like that with so many people all the time. And it's like, it's so hard for me to just be like, yo, like, why are you talking to me like that? You know, like, it's so hard for me because I'm like, first of all, I don't think they meant it like that. Or also, like, it almost in my head, it's like, I don't want to fight fire with fire. Like, I'm going to be the bigger person and not talk. But then I just start to hate them internally. And then I become the bad person because anything they do now, I'm going to be like, oh, you're so annoying. Like, there's literally this one post on Pinterest. I'm going to pull it up right now. And it's bad, but it's like, this is just how I feel sometimes because I can't communicate that I'm, like, upset. Okay, it's, when they make the randomest and smallest mistake, but it triggered your brain with disgust that somehow makes you completely hate them, and you are just filled with extreme rage that just built up out of thin air, and you have zero tolerance and zero emotional connection to them all of a sudden. Like, what? Like, what is that? Like, literally, that always happens to me. There's this one, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just say it. You know I love you. You know I love you. You know who I'm talking about. Sorry, my cousin came in, so I had to pause it. Okay, you know who you are. You know that I love you. We're working on this. You know we joke about it. I have a friend. And one night, we were, sitting, talking to our other friend, trying to console her. She was going through a breakup. And it was super hot, and there was, like, a portable air conditioner. And I was trying to, like, lift up the flaps to see if they would lift any further up. Because I was like, maybe if I, like, because, like, I don't know, maybe they could lift up all the way so that it can, like, be more direct towards me. But in a way, it did look like it looked like I was trying to break it, but obviously I'm not trying to break the sole air conditioner in the vicinity. And I was trying to lift it, like, I don't know, maybe there was, like, a different setting, although, like, there was a chance that I could break it, but I didn't think I was gonna break it, right, because I just was trying to lift it to see if there was, like, one more level for me to lift the flaps of the portable air conditioner. My friend, in a very, like, snappy way, just, like, kind of, not yelled, but, like, kind of was like, Emily, you're gonna break it, stop. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna cry. But I didn't cry. I wanted to. But we were there consoling our friend who was crying, and I also couldn't leave, because I was, like, working, so, like, I couldn't leave. But anyways, when she said that, I think I maybe not snapped back, but maybe I was like, I'm not trying to break it. Or maybe I didn't say anything, but then I do remember, like, I did kind of send the message across. I was mad because the friend was, like, said what time it is, and I was like, I can't wait to leave. I don't know. But the friend didn't understand that I was mad. The friend texted me the next day and was like, hey, how's your night? And I'm like, why you text me? Like, I'm mad at you. But, like, she didn't know that. And, like, obviously when she, like said what she said in the way that she said it, she didn't mean it in a way where it's like, Emily, you're stupid and don't talk to me ever again. She was heated, literally heated. It was very hot, and she was angry, and she was, like, trying to console a friend, while having her own issues. And so she just kind of, like, snapped when she saw me and thinking that I was going to break the air conditioner. But I obviously was not trying to break the air conditioner. I was just trying to put it more on me. Anyways, that is, like, an example of me not being able to communicate my feelings, because after when she texted me and, like, I was like, why are you, like, we're mad at each other, but she doesn't know that. And that always happens. I'm always like, why are you talking to me? We're mad at each other. But it's like, they don't know that I'm mad, And then I'll also, like, let me know if y'all do this thing. And then, I mean, it is, my friend said this is projection. But sometimes I will either communicate to my friends, like, hey, like, do you find me annoying? Like, hey, are you mad at me? Or I'll think that in my head, but deep down, that's actually how I feel about them. Like, I will like try to make, I will try to find a way to fix whatever going on, but because like I will feel like there's something wrong, and I'll be like, hey, like, you don't think I'm annoying, right? Like, or like letting you know, like, if you're mad at me, tell me, because like don't pretend to be my friend. But that's like what I'm doing. Like, I don't know why I do that. Like, I'm always like doing the opposite. Like I said in another video, I was like, if I'm mad at a friend, sometimes I'll even like buy them things. Sometimes I'll buy them chocolate. Sometimes I'll give them something. I don't know, to like compensate this urgency of like hatred that I'm just like, here, take this, you know? It's really weird. But I just find myself sometimes with like some specific friends, I'm like, I don't know, like, maybe they're mad at me, maybe they're annoyed with me, but like, it's actually, I'm mad at you and I'm annoyed at you, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be resentful. I don't want to think I'm the problem. I'm just gonna assume that it's you. I don't know. It's bad. But I just have such a hard time being honest. And I have another friend who, like, sometimes I just, like, get so annoyed by the things this person says and, like, the things this person does. And I know they don't mean it like that, but that's just how I'm taking it. And it's really hard for me to just, like, drop it because I'm such a sensitive person. And although being sensitive is quite a curse for me because it just gets in the way of a lot of things, it's still a blessing because it allows me to readily access my emotions, and that's how I'm able to like act, you know, because like if I was someone who wasn't that sensitive, like it wouldn't be that easy for me to really listen to like what my partner in a scene is saying and like really feel it, because it's like, if like literally if I'm in a scene and the partner yells at me, crying like right away, because I just feel it, I just feel the tears. But if someone who's not that sensitive, who doesn't feel the need to cry if someone yells at them or like bursts out on them, it's probably harder for them to be an actor. I don't know. Anyways, so I think it's because I'm like really sensitive that it's hard for me to like see that my friends aren't doing this on purpose. But yeah, I have this like one friend that I just like get annoyed, and I'm just like, well, if you hate me, then don't talk to me. But it's like, maybe it's I hate them and I don't want to talk to them, but that's not the truth. That's not the case. I just like get really wrapped up in my head. Like, I always say this to myself, I have been blessed with like amazing friends all my life. Like, I've always had solid friends, a solid foundation of friends. I was never one to like change friend groups or like change friends. Like, I had only one best friend breakup, one friend lost, like true friend lost in my life, and that was pretty much it. Like, everyone else who I've met along the way, who I've been friends with, kind of stuck with me more or less, like 97% of the time. But I also have issues in friendships because it's like I can't communicate how I feel. Like, I literally just cannot tell people if they've made me mad or if they've made me upset, you know? And I'm just worried that if I do, it's going to cause more issues. Like, and because it's like, well, Emily, just stop being sensitive. But it's hard for me to change that about myself. And also, it really does hurt my feelings when some friends do this or some friends say this, you know? Like, I'm trying to think of a time where I was like really, really hurt about what a friend did to me. But I'm having a hard time thinking because it's really not that deep. Like, it's not, they're not like huge things, because then why would I be friends with them? You know, like, it's not huge. I think the air conditioner one was like pretty good for me because it was like, that one I really felt like, whoa, like, why are you using that tone on me? Like, relax, you know? But like, see, it's not even that big of a deal because I understand where she was coming from, and like, I know she's not like that, and I love her and she loves me, you know? I'm just trying to think of like a time when someone like really, really hurt me. And it's quite hard for me to do. And also, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want, because sometimes, like, I also do this where it's like, I remember something that someone said or someone did, and maybe it happened years ago. Maybe it happened, like, it's just, like, a long time ago, and we're completely past it. But then I'm like, damn, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm mad at them again. Like, it's so easy for me to like fall back into those patterns where it's just like I'll remember something and I'm like, oh, like, yeah, that was pretty shitty. Like I don't like this person today, which is not good. It's not good of me to be doing these things. You know why? It's because it's really weird. I sound like probably like the worst friend right now, but then the moment I am aware that I've hurt one of my friends, the moment I am aware that I've like put them down, and if they were to ever like come to me and be like, Emily, you actually made me really upset in this moment, I would want to die. Like my heart will drop, because there have been times where like I thought I really, really hurt someone, and maybe I did. There was actually a couple moments where like it was a prank, and another one like someone pranked me, another time I pranked someone else, and I just genuinely thought I hurt their feelings, and it crushed me. Like, it's honestly the worst thing, and I always like immediately will break down in tears because I'm like, oh, like I'm in shock of how much I never want to hurt you, and yet I did, and I'm just so sorry. Like I'll be like, yes, like I am a shit person. I like F me, like I'm horrible, and I am so sorry that I did this to you. Like I feel it to the absolute max. So just know that before you like hate me after this. Because like understand that this is just a me problem that I'm just trying to figure out. Like I'm trying to figure out why it's so easy for me to just like feel so resentful. And it's probably because I don't communicate. But why is it so hard for me to communicate? I'm just worried that I'm going to lose friends if I communicate how I feel. Maybe, okay, I'm getting onto something. Maybe it's because growing up, I had some family members who were constantly gaslighting me. Like, if I was ever upset because they were mean, they would gaslight me. They'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so dramatic. Like, you're so dramatic. Like, I can't even with you. Like, I can't even. But it's like, I had a right to be upset when I was upset. But the gaslighting was astronomical that I guess it conditioned me to, like, just not tell people anymore, like, when it made me upset, because I just feel like the response I'm gonna get is, like, gaslighting, and I don't want to go with that. And I'd rather just hate you than, like, have invalidated feelings, because at least if I'm the only one keeping my feelings to myself, at least I get to validate them, and nobody else can take that away from me because I haven't vocalized them. Whoa, look at me unlocking that right there. Wow, oh my gosh, these are such therapy sessions. But I guess that's part of it, because there was a person in my life who, like, honestly was, like, really mean to me growing up, and anytime I got quiet or, like, just stopped talking because I was really upset, they'd always be like, oh my gosh, Emily, you're so dramatic, like, get over it, like, it's not even that serious. And that was always happening. It's really interesting, though, because, like, they were so mean to me growing up, and now I look at their life, and I'm just like, this person is struggling hard. Like, this person is not having an easy and good time right now. And I'm like, honestly, like, you don't even need to get revenge on people. You don't need to get revenge. You don't need to punish people. You don't need to send any karma on your own. Like, people are gonna get what they deserve, whether it's in this life or another. Like, I'm seeing it, like, firsthand, like, how mean this person was to me growing up, and now, like, they are having a really, really tough time in life. And it's like, it shouldn't be that hard for you, but, like, it just is. And I'm just like, wow, like, good luck with that. Like, like, let Hashem take the wheel. Like, I'm not touching this. Like, good luck to you. And I only wish the best for you, you know? But yeah, that's probably what it was. Just constantly being gaslit about when I would express sadness by someone who's constantly being mean to me, to the point where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not telling people how I feel, because I'm just gonna have invalidated feelings, and I don't want to deal with that. Because that's also another reason why I'm thinking right now that I feel like I am always misunderstood. I'm always just like, nobody understands me. Because, did y'all hear that? I don't know who screamed. Who moaned like that. I was like, I don't know. Why did I try and do that right now? Okay, that's obvious. That wasn't like an actual moan sound. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I'm getting somewhere. Okay, I have these thoughts sometimes where I'm like, nobody understands me. Nobody will ever understand where I'm coming from, because I was always made to feel like what I felt was invalidated. So it's like, I'm just like, nobody will ever understand. If they made me mad and I tell them, they'll just never understand why. Like, it's just like, I condition it so much into my brain where I'm just like, nobody will understand me as the way I know myself. And maybe that's not the case, because like, I know my friends know me, and I know that. But then with any little inconvenience where like they make me upset, or like it's weird, or like something happens, I'm like, yeah, because they don't get me. And if I'm upset and it's because of something they did, they will never understand if I ever brought it up to them. They'll just never understand. And I'm always just like, I'm just better off alone. These like thoughts that are just so bitter. I don't like having these bitter thoughts, but sometimes I just do have these bitter thoughts, and it's like, sorry, I don't want to be having these bitter thoughts, but sometimes I just do. And I want to know if anybody else has these bitter thoughts sometimes where it's just like, nobody gets me, like, everybody's like against me, And I know y'all feel like that sometimes, like I've talked about it with y'all before, but it's just like, where do these stem from? And I'm just realizing it's from childhood. Honestly, everything's from childhood. Like, literally, childhood is so... And, like, okay, I just think, like, okay, I'm definitely someone who's, like, life is beautiful, life is good, life is glass half full. Like, I'm always just like, there's beauty and goodness in everything, even when things seem like horrible. I just feel and trust that it's coming from a bigger and better place, because honestly, like, I can't think any other way. Like, it's just gonna drive me crazy, because if I just am so pessimistic and negative about everything in life, I am just not gonna be happy. So, oh my gosh, where am I going with this? Why am I talking about this? I was talking about the fact that I think life... Okay, yeah. So, I just feel like trauma in childhood is inevitable. It doesn't matter how good nothing is perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. It doesn't matter how pampered and financially stable you were in life. Like, as a child, like, you will have some kind of trauma. You will have some kind of situations that are going to affect you. But I think it's beautiful. Like, I wouldn't change that for the world, first of all, because I can't, and second of all, because it's part of this beautiful thing that we're going through called life. And like, yes, childhood trauma, the word trauma in itself is negative, but I think it's kind of also interesting to look at how things that happen in your childhood are just like so weaved into things now. Like, we've talked about attachment styles, and just like the fact that certain people in your life are going to affect how you have relationships with other people. Like, how I saw this person in my life and how they were to me and how they acted towards me, and since it was negative, or when it was negative, that conditioned me into like going about all my friendships like that, I don't know, it's really interesting to think about. But yeah, I just have a really hard time being honest about my feelings, and I think in order to move forward and to like start being more honest, because the goal is not to resent my friends. I obviously don't want to hate my friends, and I don't hate my friends. Like, I don't hate anybody. I just mean like those little moments where you're just like, ugh, yuck. I'm kidding. It's just like those sometimes where you're just like, damn, like, I don't feel the same about you, but it's so temporary. But like, the goal is not to be like that anymore. The goal is to be able to communicate, because then how am I supposed to get married? How am I supposed to have a lifelong partner if this person's gonna actually be pissing me off 24/7? Because it's like, why didn't they do the dishes when I asked them to? Why is their clothes all over the ground? Or like, why didn't they pick up the kids when I asked them to? Like, why are the kids coming and complaining to me because they were late all the time? Like, how am I supposed to go about the little inconveniences or the little mistakes people do, because they're human, people do in a day? How am I supposed to like live with someone like that if I can't even do it with people that I don't live with, you know? So I think I just need to accept the fact that I am in a safe space. Friendships are safe spaces for you to communicate. And if you feel something off, you just say it, you know? Yeah. Sorry, Maddie called me right now, and now I'm just, like, at a loss of words. I'm not, I'm not at a loss of words. I'm just, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, that was, okay. Like, I think so to get over this, I just need to remind myself that I'm not, it's that person in my life is not every person. Like, these are my friends who I've been with from 1 to 16 years, you know? Like, there's a great range of people that I've collected along the way that have been there. And truth is, I have probably made some of my friends very angry. I'm gonna say it for certain, I've made my friends angry. I've made my friends sad. I've hurt their feelings time and time again because I'm human and I make mistakes, and sometimes I say things and it rubs the wrong way, you know? But they're still here, so I need to remind myself that and, like, just communicate, but in, like, a good tone. I don't want to fight fire with fire, like I said. Like, if someone is mean to me, I'm just gonna be like, hey, like, why did you talk to me that way? Because I've really kind of snapped once in my life, kind of, and I did not like the way I felt. I felt like disgusting afterwards. Like, that's not me. I don't want to yell back. Like, I don't want to do that. So I just need to find a way to calm down and then still address it, not ignore it, because sometimes I calm down and I ignore it and then it, like, comes back multiple times over. You know, but yeah, I want to know what y'all think. Please, please, please let me know what y'all think of this, like, the topic and, like, what I've said. If there's any, like, points that strike out to you, like, let me know. Yeah. And also, if I have made you mad in the past, I'm genuine. I'm, like, really sorry. Like, because it's the last thing I want to do is hurt people's feelings. Like, it makes me feel disgusted. It makes me hate myself knowing that I hurt somebody. And so I really do apologize. And if I do hurt you and you genuinely feel, like, really upset, please bring it up to me. But I just ask not in, like, a really mean defensive way, because then I don't think we're gonna be both coming at it with the right respect, and the goal, which is to, like, just fix the friendship. Because if you're coming at me yelling, then I'm gonna come at you yelling, and then it could lead to bad things. So, anyways, thanks for listening. Please let me know your thoughts on what I talked about today. Please, please, please. And goodbye.